It's been nearly a year since this group of 4 juveniles attacked this 70-year-old woman in San Francisco. How often are these attacks happening? Data obtained by the I-Team from the San Francisco Juvenile Probation Department shows so far this year there's been an increase in juveniles committing serious and violent felonies like this one. We'll break down the data in just a moment. But first, a perspective from police. We sat down with Tracy McCray, the president of the San Francisco Police Officers Association, who's regularly briefed by police captains at all 10 district stations. How often do you see cases similar to that?
More than I want to see.
How many?
More, like 6, 7 kids, ganging up, attacking, 1 or 2 people, attacking elderlies, right? Like, I don't know, it feels like there's at least one every week.
One every week?
At least.
Newly updated data from SFPD shows there have been 131 more robberies across the city so far this year compared to this time last year, bringing the total to 1,003 since January. Police attribute some of that increase to juvenile crime. McCray says juveniles around 12 to 14 years old are working in groups, coming in and out of the city?
Yeah, groups in and out of the city, some coming from over the East Bay, some who have ran away from their group homes, down south or from the valley, coming up to San Francisco. And I think they feel like, well, who's going to check me?
Last week, OPD arrested 9 juveniles believed to be responsible for 35 robberies in Oakland.
There was some over between some of the juveniles that they arrested that in this city we've come in contact with those juveniles.
How many of them?
I think probably 3 or 4 are the same ones, and they're kind of part of this group, this clique. One of the youngest ones we ran into was 11 at the time they committed an assault.
McCray says this year attacks involving juveniles are getting more violent, often targeting elderly victims. But there's not enough data out yet to discern the uptick in violent robberies across the city is solely tied to juveniles. As context, the number of juvenile robbery arrests in San Francisco has actually gone down dramatically over the past 2 decades.
There's very small numbers now.
Mike Males is a senior research fellow for the Center on Juvenile and Criminal Justice. According to FBI crime data, in 1995, more than 500 juveniles were arrested for robberies in San Francisco. In 2010, that number dropped to 188. From 2019 through 2021, those numbers dropped again into the 20s. The I-Team is still waiting for the exact number of juvenile arrests SFPD made so far this year.
So there's hardly a juvenile crime wave.
A crime wave? No. But an uptick? Yes. According to the San Francisco Juvenile Probation Department, there's been a steady increase of juveniles committing serious and violent felonies, also known as 707B offenses. For example, in March, there were 74 juvenile cases referred to court, which is 45% higher than the average last year, and 30 admissions to juvenile hall, which is 58% higher than the average last year.
There's some basis for saying there's an increase in juvenile crime, but we've got to remember that the numbers are very small.
SFPD data shows, aside from robberies, there's been a slight uptick in homicides and a moderate increase in motor vehicle thefts across the city this year. But other violent crimes like rapes, assaults, burglaries, and larceny theft have gone down slightly in the first 5 months of this year compared to last year. Larceny theft accounting for the most crimes committed, more than 11,000. That's down from nearly 13,000 last year.
So petty theft, right, going into like a Walgreens, Target, some organized retail theft, but which is more sophisticated though. We always feel like we're playing catch up.
Do you see that problem ever getting better in San Francisco?
No, not until you change the law, right? Not until there's some teeth within the law.
The San Francisco POA has long supported repealing Prop 47 that made some nonviolent drug and property crimes into misdemeanors. But supporters of the legislation argue California is one of 12 states with some of the toughest property crime laws in the country.
In California, you have to steal $900 worth of material before it becomes a felony. In Texas, you have to steal $2,500 worth of material. And the average for most states in the United States is about $1,100 to $1,400 worth of goods before your crime becomes a felony. It's not a matter of having a weak law. Other states have much weaker property crime laws than California, and police are able to operate in those states.
Weak or not, the reality is this. The department is bracing to lose up to 120 police officers by the end of June due to retirements. Last year, McCrae said this about crime in San Francisco.
It is going to stay the same. That's being real. That's giving you the honest answer.
Do you stand by that statement?
Oh, yeah. Oh, girl, that has not changed. Yes, it will take years to right the ship, so to speak.
How many years?
At minimum 5. I think minimum 5 years, right? Maximum, maybe 10.
For the I-Team, Stephanie Sierra, ABC 7 News.